So let's just dive right into the first one, and the first one is the attention seeker. The thing about the attention seeker, in my experience, is once they have your attention, the wheels are always turning. They're going to move on to the next thing.
Everybody, look at me, look at my glasses.
To capture your attention again. And isn't it funny, that's kind of what having a YouTube channel is about. The minute I finish a video and upload it, the wheels are turning and I'm trying to think of the next topic for the next video. So yeah, we're a lot like that, content creators. I think that the attention seeker is pretty insatiable. Like they're never satisfied. You give them some attention and they're always craving more. It's like more, 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 I can't get enough. Okay? So yeah, that's the attention seeker. Okay, and that brings us to number 2. Which is the drama queen. I'm going to give you a good example of a drama queen. Here we go. Roll 'em.
I've done everything I could to make myself attractive for you. I've lost and gained over 100 pounds at the last year. From a 16 to a 10 to a 16, and you've never said a word.
Okay, I rate myself a number 2 when it comes to being a drama queen, but my husband told me I'm a number 10. I'm definitely a drama queen. I never realized this about myself. It seems to me that drama queens are always involved in a big catastrophe. Everything's a big deal. I think they crave attention. Well, I guess this does sound like me. Drama queens can be male or female. I've certainly run into my share of male drama queens. And ironically, usually the male drama queens I've known have also been drag queens. So, go figure. And this brings us to number 3. The bloviating windbag. Okay, you've been exposed to a lot of this lately. I'm going to tell you that the bloviating windbag usually, in my experience, is a public official, a politician. We seem to have a big bloviating windbag on the news every day. The thing about the bloviating windbag is they don't have an economy with words. Everything is excruciatingly long. You can't give a short speech, it's got to be 3 hours. Okay? You can't give a short rally, it's got to be 4 hours. It's excruciatingly long. The bloviating windbag likes to hear the sound of their own voice. The other thing about this type of person is the bloviating part. This person has a very elevated opinion of themselves, and they'll tell you all about it. They're wonderful, they're great, they're talented, and they have no problem letting you know that. So, the bloviating windbag. One bit of advice I can give to the bloviating windbag is to read the room. Okay, if you're speaking in front of people and they start checking their cell phones, they start rolling their eyes, they start looking at the ceiling or looking at the sky, depending on where you're at, or they just full out fall asleep, it's time to end your conversation or your speech or your rally or whatever it is. The bloviating windbag. Okay, the next one, the next person is pretty interesting. This is an interesting category, and this is the overwhelmer. Yeah, the overwhelmer. Have you ever been around somebody like this? I used to work with a lady like this, and I can recall having a conversation with her in the break room. A person like this is like always in your face, okay? They're gonna get in your face, you're gonna back away, they're gonna get in your face again, you're gonna back away again, and it's gonna be a pissing match of them getting in your face and you backing away until your back is up against the wall. And this is where you have to say time out. You have to learn to respect another person's personal space. It's called the 3-foot rule. Allow me at least 3 feet of space between me and you. Maybe even more. In most cases, I even like more. But this person will be totally unaware of personal boundaries like this. It's just that they have a point they want to make, and they're going to make that point right up in your face. Other thing about the overwhelmer, if you spend any time with a person like this, you're going to have to go home and sleep it off because you're going to end up being exhausted. All right? So please, if you feel like you're an overwhelmer, and I'm going to give myself a 0 on this one, and I'll tell you why. I'm very cognizant of this trait because I've been exposed to it, and it's probably the most annoying thing I've ever been exposed to. All right, so please don't be an overwhelmer. Okay, number 5 is the victim. And maybe I should call it the victim mentality because there's 2 different victims. One would be possibly a crime victim, and those people have my full sympathy. That's not anything they invited. But the victim mentality, I think, is a habit that's learned, and it enables the person to not assume any responsibility for their own life, their own choices. Everything in their life is happenstance, and everything in their life happens to them in a negative way, and it's always somebody else's fault. Okay, they're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Here's an example. Say they're in the workplace and they have, let's say there's a 12-point attendance policy, okay? Say they're at 11.5 points and they're on their way to work late, and then they get tied up in traffic, and as a result they get to work a half hour late, and they're terminated because of the attendance policy. But you see, it's not going to be their fault because they got tied up in traffic, but they don't account for the fact that they left their house later than they should have. Okay, it's always somebody else's fault. So if you're the victim or you have the victim mentality, let me tell you something. It's time to outgrow that. That's to me, an adolescent way of thinking about life. It's a way not to assume responsibility for your own choices. So the victim mentality. Okay, number 6 is the passive aggressive, and I've done a video on this subject before, the passive aggressive personality. And what it is if you have a beef with somebody, the passive aggressive personality will tiptoe around that person and just treat them badly instead of confronting them and having a conversation about what's bothering them. One of the things they're famous for doing is giving you the silent treatment. Also making promises they don't intend to fulfill, belittling you in other ways. Yeah, the passive aggressive personality. When it comes to that, I give myself a 0, and I'll tell you why. I've really learned through the years to stand my ground, draw the line in the sand with people, and if somebody steps over my boundary, I make sure they know about it, and I make sure they own it. Right or wrong, if it's something they did, I make sure they know about it and own it, okay? Because they'll never learn, they'll never grow unless people stop giving them a pass on the way they act. The passive aggressive personality to me it's a very immature way of handling adult situations. So if you're in your 60s or 70s and you're acting this way, wow, you should have outgrown this a long time ago. Passive aggressive personality. Okay, number 7, the competitor. Okay, I don't know if this relates to men. I think men are very competitive of each other, but I will tell you, I think women are really competitive with other women. And I don't know why. I don't know what prize they're trying to win, but I always seem to have somebody like this in my life. They want to compete with me for I don't know what, and I don't know why. Competitiveness might be healthy in certain situations like sports, like maybe getting a promotion at work. It might be a healthy trait. It might get you what you want in life. But I think in interpersonal relationships, there is no reason to be competitive with someone you consider to be your friend. Okay? So, and again, I'll say women are really guilty of this. You know, especially if if two women are interested in the same man, figure out what's going to happen there. Competitiveness. Yeah. So that's number 7. Number 8. Number 8 is the gossip. We've all known many of those. To me, the gossip is a particularly dangerous personality trait because if somebody is gossiping to you about someone else, they're going to turn around and gossip about you to someone else. The last incident of this happening to me was unsolicited, was at a social event, and this person began to unload on me about how they tried to be the subject's friend, but they were just too screwed up. It wasn't a good scene, let's put it this way. It was like, you're gonna jump on me about somebody else that I didn't ask for information about. I don't like being put in that position. That to me is a red flag. When it comes to gossip, I rate myself as a 0. As I try. Maybe a 1, because, you know, I'm not perfect, but I try to stay away from that. I've experienced people holding court online, like in private chat rooms, drawing other people in and then gossiping about somebody that wasn't there. Ironically, that is a test of character, okay? And I do recall that everybody that was in that chat room went silent, which was the only thing you could do in a situation like that. Okay, that brings us to number 9. Number 9 is the buzzkill. Yeah, the buzzkill. You know, that's the person that doesn't want to see anybody else having a good time. A good example of the buzzkill is from the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. If you remember the character Nurse Ratched. Nurse Ratched was a buzzkill. Do you remember in the movie when all the mental patients stole the bus, went fishing, bought a bunch of alcohol, picked up some women, and came back to the facility and partied the night away? Nurse Ratched was the one that busted them. She really took a lot of pleasure in doing so. Good movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it, rent it. It's a classic. So yeah, you know, there's a person like that called a buzzkill. How would I rate myself? I could be a number 2 because I might be a buzzkill if things are getting out of hand. If it was going to be a situation where somebody was going to call the cops because you were having too much fun, I'd put an end to it. So yeah, I could be a buzzkill. Maybe a number 3 even. You know, because somebody's got to be the adult in the room, okay? That brings us to number 10. And number 10 is Debbie Downer. And if your name is Debbie, please don't take this personally. You know, you don't have to be a Karen about it. If your name is Karen, please don't take that personally. You could be a Suzanne about it. I'm a Suzanne. Okay. Debbie Downer is the person that wants to rain on your parade. It's the person that wants to find a negative in any positive that you may have going in your life. This would be the person that, say you've been planning a vacation and you finally called the airline and made your plane reservations, and she'd be the one that would say something like, oh, you're going to fly? You know, planes are crashing. There's been a lot of plane crashes lately, and the FAA is in very bad shape. They are short on air traffic controllers, and the ones they do have are incompetent. Okay, this would be Debbie Downer. That would be what she'd have to add to your glorious vacation plans. Debbie Downer, I think, probably doesn't have much going on in her own life, so she's got to nitpick about yours. I try not to be a Debbie Downer. I'm going to give myself a 0 on that, because if there's anything in your life that you've got going on that makes you happy, I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader, okay? Because there's just not enough joy. And if you can grab yourself a piece, you deserve it. So yeah, there's a lot of annoying personality types out there. Gosh, I think I've run into every single one. As much as we'd like to shape and mold a person to be more of a personality that we're compatible with, we really don't have the right to do that. You know, when somebody is 60 or 70 years old, they're pretty much set in their ways. I mean, their personalities are pretty crystallized, and a lot of times I don't think they're even aware of how they're acting in many cases, or what they're doing. So I think the best thing we can do is let people be who they are, and if they're too annoying for you to handle, it's probably best for you to distance yourself. While you're doing that, you know, never hurts to work on yourself. Work on your own qualities. You know, they say, you know, the saying, be the change you want to see in the world, right? Yeah. So, yeah, that's my take on annoying personalities. Thanks for stopping by today. Again, my name is Suzanne Harper. My channel is about life at 70 years old. I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day, everyone. Mwah. Bye.